Hello friends, in last few lectures of material testing and evaluation, we have discussed about various materials used for construction, their properties and tests carried out to check their quality. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss about very important topic called as environmental impact assessment, that is EIA. This topic is very important because we know each and every material has its advantages and disadvantages. Similarly, in manufacturing process of some material, there is carbon footprint on the environment and it may create the pollution which is dangerous for human health and environment also. Therefore, in this lecture, we are giving importance to environmental impact assessment for construction projects. Myself, R.V. Jugdar, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about introduction to EIA, that is Environmental Impact Assessment, background study or history, environment impact assessment definition, history of EIA, purpose or and objective of EIA, process of EIA, concept of environmental impact assessment in water resource projects, environmental dis- discourse on dam construction, and case studies. Conclusion. Since any every construction project have different phases in construction, that is environmental project phase, social project and economic projects. Each and every project has its own advantages and disadvantages, and they will impact on environment as well as human being around it. The background study for EIA environment is composed of biotic and abiotic components. There exists a dynamic equilibrium between these components. Whenever a project is undertaken, it tends to disturb these components. To maintain natural environment, perspectives are studied about effect and remedial measures. For example, forest ecosystem disturbed due to construction of roads or dams. Means whenever there is development due to construction, there is change in ecosystem or ecosystem is hampered, which affects the environment in the form of pollution and which may also affect the animals and human being in that particular territory. Environmental impact assessment. The impact of an activity is a deviation, that is change from the baseline situation that is caused by the activity. Type of impacts are of different forms like ecological impact, socio-chemical impact, human interest impact. Environmental impact assessment is a decision making process that systematically evaluates the possible significant, that is negative or positive, effect that our proposed project action may exert on natural, social, and human environment of a particular geographic area. History and development of environment impact assessment. EIA was first developed in US as a result of National Environmental Policy Act on 1969 NEPA for considering possible impacts prior to decision being taken on whether or not a proposal should be given approval to proceed. Environmental impact assessment concept in India came in late years, that is in 1994. There have been three amendments in the notification. Recognition of EIA consultant and organization through Quality Council of India is also one step ahead to stop entry of unethical people mushrooming as EIA consultant. Purpose and objectives of EIA. There are various purposes or objectives of EIA as given below. The first purpose is identification, estimation, and assessment of important effects that a planned project may have on environment. The second objective is presentation of data on impact in the report for authorities responsible for approving the realization of the project as well as for the public. And the third objective or purpose is encouragement of authorities responsible for approving the planned projects to include ecological elements in their decision making process. Another objectives of EIA are to ensure that eventual effects on the environmental are considered before the approval of project, to encourage implementation of relevant procedures before finalizing the project, to encourage the creation of procedures for information exchange, reporting, and consultation amongst countries. The following flowchart shows the process of EIA. The EIA is consist of different phases which we will study in next slides. The process includes following steps. The first phase is screening, second is scoping, third is impact analysis, fourth is impact mitigation, fifth is the reporting phase, the sixth phase is regarding a review, seventh stage is decision making, and last phase is monitoring of EIA. The first phase screening. The screening process determines whether a particular project requires preparation of EIA or not. If it is needful to do environmental impact assessment, we have to go for it. The next phase is scoping. Scoping is a stage usually involving the public and other interested parties that identifies the key environmental issues that should be addressed in an EIA. The third phase is impact analysis. In this phase, the type, extent, duration, timing, severity, and significance of the project impact is analyzed, and on that analysis, the further actions are taken for project approval. The next phase is impact mitigation, ensuring that residual impacts are within acceptable levels and to enhance environmental and social benefits. It is the implementation of measures designed to reduce the undesirable effects of the proposed action on the environment. Reporting is the next phase of EIA. In a report of EIA, it is prepared and submitted to the concerned authority, which consists of a description of the project, an outline of the main alternatives studied by the developer, and an indication of the main reason for the choice. The next step is a description of the aspects of the environment likely to be significantly affected by the proposed project. The next thing is considered in reporting is measures to prevent, reduce, and possibly offset adverse environmental effects. The next consideration in reporting is a non-technical summaries, and the last thing which have to conclude is an indication of any difficulties, technical difficult deficiencies, or lack of knowledge encountered while compiling the required information. The next page is regarding a review. In this step, the report is studied thoroughly for any deficiencies and corrections are made. Public participation is one of most important phase in a review. This all report is published in some newspaper which is locally available and in mother tongue of that particular area, and which is well known newspaper. On that particular report, the people have to give their suggestions and opinions in return, and after the public suggestions and participation, the project is approved for further progress. The next phase is decision making. It involves deciding whether the project is acceptable or not. The terms and conditions are finalized in this step. And last phase is of monitoring. It involves ensuring the implementation of conditions attached to the decision, verification of impacts are predicted or permitted, confirming the mitigation measures are working as expected, taking action to manage any unforeseen changes. Concept of EIA in water resource project. What are these projects? Why do we need these projects, and why is there need of EIA in these type of projects? Water resource projects. Such kind of a projects are consist of multi-purpose river valley projects, major irrigation projects or canals, interlinking of rivers, etc. Why do we need these projects? Our population is growing fastly. The country's population, which was 1028 million in 2001, now it is up to 1400 million by 2025. Our water demand is also growing fastly. For agricultural field, production of food grains has increased from around 50 million tons in the 50s to about 208 million tons in 1999, and it may increase up to 350 million tons by 2025. For domestic and industry, the water needs have largely been concentrated in near major cities. However, the demand in rural areas is expected to increase sharply as the development programs improve economic conditions of rural masses. And power generation is most important thing for such kind of a product projects. Need of EI for these projects. As a result, water, which is already a scarce resource, will become even scarcer in future. These water resource projects have both beneficial and adverse effect on environmental as well as socio-economic factors. To attain sustainability in water resource developments, we have to go through environmental impact assessment. Although there is no global water scarcity as such, an increasing number of regions are chro- chronically short of water. There are water resource projects having construction phase and operational phase. There are some beneficial impacts and adverse impacts of both of the phases. For construction phase, there are beneficial impacts like socio-economic, that is employment generation, lesser migration to cities, development of infrastructure, compensation to the peoples for their lands. For biotic things, the compensatory afforestation, that is green belt creation, is done because of these projects. And adverse impacts are the displacement of people, loss of livelihood that they have been used to, loss of monuments, some cases, and biotic losses, submergence of forest land in cases of multipurpose river valley projects, effects of flora and fauna in the streams. In operation phase, there are lots of benefits like irrigation allows for the improved crop production, increased power generation, improved water supply throughout the year, flood moderation, improved groundwater recharge, and tourism. For biotic purpose, increased aquatic life in a reservoir, increase in migratory birds, and adverse effects are waterlogging and salinity, greenhouse gas emission, increase in production of water intensive crops, change in sediment loads through the course of a river and the delta. Biotic adverse impacts are aquatic life affected due to differential temperature and flow rates, change in natural ecosystem. The major changes in EIA and environmental planning in water resource development are increase in population, climatic change, conceived planning, and policies and institutions. Tools for assessment and management. The following are tools used for assessment and management through EIA: environmental flows assessment, allocation of water for ecological water demand, dam breach analysis, GIS and remote sensing with simulation models, IWRM integrated with EIA. Environmental discourse on dam construction. Some facts regarding this are: in 1947 there were only 300 dams, in 2000 there were 4,000 dams. Currently there are more than 4,500 dams in India. Large dams in India are estimated to have submerged around 37,500 km square land area. About 10 million people have been displaced or affected through these projects. Adverse impact of dam have spawned resistance movements, especially after 1980s. These are some benefits and disadvantages of the projects, in which the displacement of people is main issue, sedimentation and alterations is second issue, reservoir induced seismicity is one more issue for because of dam construction. Then rescinding deltas, dropped fish harvesting, waterlogging in salinization, downplain flooding are the issues due to dam construction on a river. This is case study for the dam. The Three Gorges Dam. The Three Gorges Dam is built on Yangates River, which is the world's third longest river. It is the biggest reinforced concrete structure in the world. It is the world's largest power station in terms of installed capacity, 22,500 megawatts. Affected the rotation of Earth by 1 second. Height is 181 meters. Length is 2.335 meters kilometers. Reservoir capacity is 39.3 kilometers square. Due to this dam, the displacement, sedimentation, soil erosion of reservoir, water quality, downstream river bed, major domestic fish species, and reservoir banks are affected, and there are evidences recorded for that all things. Conclusion for studying EIA: environmental impact assessment must be made mandatory for all water resource projects so as to ensure sustainability in development. EIA should be incorporated in integrated water resource management. Public participation must be encouraged at all levels in the implementation of EIA for the project. Use of advanced techniques like GIS and remote sensing and simulation models as a component of EIA for effective and efficient data collection. Proper policies and institutions must be drafted and formed for quick and firm decision making. These are some references for study of